Is being able to break literally anything that comes your way a personality trait? Because if so... Alrighty then. It is squidgos. Bye. Hello. Put in deodorant for the first time in 3 days today, so that's how I'm doing. Disgusting! For this week's video, I wanted to talk a little bit about aesthetic. Lately, I've been seeing a lot of aesthetic names and categories for aesthetics such as cottagecore, farmcore, prairiecore, dark academia. Pretty much anything you could think of, there is a name for it. It sort of came out of nowhere. And listen, I think it's cool. I think it's good for people to be able to categorize their style and look up very specific inspirations. But I also think it's a little silly. Any word you can think of, you can just kind of stick it in front of the word core and it becomes aesthetic. So I kind of wanted to poke a little bit of fun at that concept. And so on Instagram, I asked you guys to send me your made up aesthetics. In return, I would pick my favorites, try to create what that aesthetic would look like in my brain at least. Making an outfit out of it and then making a made up little mood board, because I think part of the aesthetics, so sorry I'm going to say that word probably about 3.2 trillion times in this video. I think part of it is, yes, a fashion style, but some of it is just images and things that are reminiscent of the descriptive words used to describe the aesthetic. What am I saying? So I opened it up to you guys and I got 2,754 comments. I picked out a few of my favorites. I highly suggest looking at that comment thread because they are just... Some honorable mentions include Crunchbullcore, hashtag not the chokey, School Picture Day aesthetics featuring bad backdrops, 4 smiles and clothes mom picked out for you, Wallcore, walls, just walls, Wacky Arm Inflatable Tube Man, core, Velvety Boy. One of the ones that I got a lot, surprisingly, was IKEA core. Not quite sure how you would make an aesthetic out of that, the look of being utterly and completely lost and wanting cinnamon buns. I am kind of biased in the ones that I chose because I wanted to make sure I chose ones that I can realize with clothing items that I have. So I'm gonna try to make an outfit for each of these aesthetics. I'm gonna try to put together a mood board. I've never put together a mood board before, but I'm gonna try to channel my inner Pinterester and just kind of put together images that I think would sum up the made up aesthetic. Was this over-explained? Probably. So let's get started. So the first aesthetic I wanted to cover in this little journey came from the immaculate Kathy Hay Weasley core. I kind of already dress like a Weasley, so I feel like it just works. Orangey browns, coppers, hand-me-down looking, knitted by magic. Really freaking cozy. Fashion. For Weasley core, like I said, we're gonna stick with those really, really warm colors. This skirt would be really good for it. Use this vest. And then I just have to figure out what shirt I want to put underneath that vest. Nope, hate it. Nope, hate that too. Maybe. I will admit this one took me way longer than I thought it would have, but I think I've got something that I'm satisfied with. Next up. This one I read and immediately knew that I had to do it because it really spoke to my soul. Whiskey Grandpa, a vibe. I don't personally drink whiskey or pretty much any alcohol at all unless I want to puke my brains out. It just needs to be done. It just makes me think of sort of like a Wild West elderly gentleman, suspenders and the like. So that's what I'm going off of. Someone who would take an old aged whiskey barrel, take a tub in it. Why do I feel like that's not the first time I've made that visualization on this channel? For this one, I am kind of cheating in the fact that I have been known to dress like this. I'm gonna take my Henley, which is very grandpa-like, and then I'm gonna put some trousers on, possibly some suspenders. Let's give it a shot. Yes, I can feel it. Whiskey grandpa, that's me. Whiskey grandpa. The next aesthetic that I chose is not really a funny one, but I thought that it sounded really stinking cute, and that is bakery core. Maybe like an old-fashioned bread maker. When I think of a bakery, I think of really warm colors. I just love carbs. This next one I am pretty excited about because I think out of all of them, this is the one that I kind of have a clear idea of what I'm doing. Want to stick around very warm creams, browns, very Parisian, because when I think of baked goods, I think of a cute little Paris cafe. So I'm thinking this shirt, which is one of my favorites. It's the kind of shirt that I want to bake scones in. And then as far as skirts, I'm definitely going to stick towards the warm colors here, which is 87% of my skirts. So brown. Next up, my friends, Shrek core. I actually got a lot of requests for swamp core or bog witch core. Kind of feel like Shrek core might, you know, cover those bases. Being a millennial, who am I to deny the people what they want? Shrek core. For this outfit, we're gonna need something that says, "Get out of my swamp!" All right. Check. And then to top it off, I did in fact make a vest for this. Yes. Okay, I lied. I'm actually not gonna go with trousers for this one. Felt like it wasn't giving enough Shrek vibes. So I replaced the pants with a olive green skirt, and I feel like it's reading a lot more ogre than it was before. Oh, he's a crunchy boy. That's it, I'm not going. Pause for the best song that has ever graced this earth. Next, take my word for it, I really did try my darndest to avoid doing this one, but it just... And that is Hobbitcore. Which I realize is completely cheating because that is basically my style in a nutshell. You know I can't go at least 3 videos without making a Hobbit reference. Play concerning hobbits. Alright, so for Hobbitcore, I'm not going to go into too much detail just because I feel like you've seen me dress as a hobbit about 35 times on this channel. Hobbit fashion is all about texture, so a dirndly looking top, velvet waistcoat, a textured skirt, and a corduroy blazer. I didn't want all of these aesthetics just to be words with core tacked on to the end. So for this next one, I chose to kind of challenge myself. That is meadow punk. What does that mean? Because I'm not familiar with existing aesthetics that have the word punk on them, I'm not exactly sure what that means. I myself, when I read that, I kind of pictured a Hot Topic employee in the middle of a field. But I don't think that's quite right. I would think it just means taking something and then making it cool and badass. I don't know. These are all made up. There are no rules. Okay, I'm not gonna lie to you, I think meadow punk has definitely stumped me. Pretty dress that I was gonna wear. And then top it with this pinafore. I don't know. I'm flashbacks to middle school where it was like, look, I put on lots of eyeliner. Am I punk? This next one I remember reading, but then when I was trying to scroll through the comments, I couldn't find it. But I did receive a few more requests for kind of the same thing, which is medieval core. But I wanted to focus on nightcore, because number one, it sounds cool, and number two, I kind of just want to do like a casual Joan of Arc look. I kind of feel like this style is basically, I do declare on Instagram, she is a queen. Please go follow her. So I'm gonna take a lot of inspiration from her and kind of do very flowy with maybe a little bit of armor in there, because why not? All right, so I have somewhere, let's play, is it in my wardrobe or is it sitting in a pile down in the laundry room? Yeah, it totally is. Okay, got it. If you've been here since the Face Awards, you would know I repainted an entire set of Halloween costume armor. Will be glorious. Huzzah! I'm gonna do a little bit of adjusting with this Velcro to make it a tiny bit more flattering. Now, is this entirely practical? No, that's never stopped me before. Next up is another fantasy related one, and another one that has the word punk in it, so forgive me if I don't accurately portray this one as to what you were thinking. Elf punk. I'm quite sure that this kind of already exists. In fact, I follow a few Instagram accounts that I think kind of give off that vibe already, but I'm sure you could say that about all of these as well, so. Elf punk, elf punk, elf punk. Again, I'm struggling a little bit with the word punk. So I think we'll start off with a little black crop top. Please tell me I'm not the only one who finds these in every, tiny crevice of their house. And then on the subject of things that I made for the Face Awards are these leaf shoulder pads that I made. Not exactly practical, but who cares about practicality? We're in a pandemic, y'all. And then I struggled a little bit with what I'm gonna do for the bottom of this, but I think I'm just gonna go with a really long and flowy skirt. I don't know what's punk. I don't know about this one, guys. I realize, and I apologize, literally every one of these outfits has been earth tones so far, so I feel like maybe that's how I should start introducing myself. Hi, my name's Rachel. I hope you like earth tones. This next one I wanted to do just because, again, kind of like bakery core, it just sounded so stinking cute. Forest fable. I like that it's kind of open. So for me, I was thinking kind of like a woodland sprite mixed with a classic fairy tale character. You have been blessing me so much lately. What have I done to deserve this? Oh, you've got murder in your eyes. Gross. Is a look. I think I want to do is take this brown pinafore that I just made, super long and very flowy. I want to use this baby underneath. Okay, so I changed my mind again, as I am known to do. Went with a green shirt underneath the pinafore. This one at least feels a little bit more foresty. I've got a shit ton of highlighter on.
Wow.
The next aesthetic that I chose is pretty straightforward. Pirate core. Will this just straight up look like a pirate costume? Probably. Who's to say costumes can't be everyday outfits? Layers, long skirt, flowy top, maybe a corset, we'll see how I'm feeling, and then a lot of belts. If Pirates of the Caribbean taught me anything, it's, you know, the more belts, the better. This next one I am very excited for. I'll wear a super long skirt that I made, a white long skirt underneath it to look like a petticoat, and you know, like hoist it up like ladies used to do when they couldn't be bothered. It's obviously not a real corset, but I think it'll do, pig. The last one that I think I'm going to do for this video at least is something I think a lot of us could use right now, and that is Halloween core. Because why wouldn't I want to dress like my favorite holiday every day? So quite obviously this one is going to be a lot of orange and blacks. It's essentially how I dress from August to November. Last one. And since there is nothing subtle about my feelings for Halloween, we're gonna go all out. Oh, yes. Is this too much? Maybe? I don't care. The instant serotonin I get from dressing like this sure is something. That is it. I would love to hear your made-up aesthetic. If any of you have sort of coined your own phrase for your own style. As silly as this new wave of aesthetic names is, I think it's also, like I said, very helpful for people to narrow down the way that they want to dress and categorize it. That is it. I love you guys whether you're new or old to this channel. If you're new here and you feel like sticking around, feel free to subscribe. I upload every Friday and we have fun here. And I will see you in my next video. Bye! For this week's video, my neighbor has their granddaughter over again. She's getting so big and I'm so creepy. That, my friend, is how I get pumped up to film. I don't think I do. Nope, it's gone. Flower Bay. Give me a call, don't stop me now. We named the dog Indy. We named the dog Indiana. No, wrong movie. I'm taking the dog, dumbass. know what time it is. Oh. Wow. 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 I'm old, Greg. You guys ever have a quote-unquote skill that you learned that you can do, and then from then on you find any excuse to do it? Me neither. I used to do this with field hockey sticks. Full circle, baby. Good afternoon to everyone, except for you.